Good morning everyone. So today we will be discussing about the chemical taste and that is hardness. Okay. So in the previous slide I have been discussed with you about the chemical taste and the physical taste and what are the physical taste it has been conducted to know the quality or to know the analysis of the water. Okay. So in the physical taste we have been discussed about the temperature, color, turbidity, taste and odor. Okay. So in the chemical test, I have discussed about the total solid. Okay, so why this chemical test has been done? I have told you these tests are done to reveal the sanitary quality of the water. And this chemical test involves that is determination of total solids, hardness, pH value, iron and manganese, organic matter. This chemical test includes. Okay, so these are the methods we will be discussing. First is total solid. Total solid I have discussed with you. Total solid contains or includes first is suspended, colloidal and dissolved form. And this quantity of suspended solids is mainly determined by filtering the sample of water through a fine filter or drying and weighing. And next is the quantity of dissolved and the colloidal solid, which is determined by evaporating the filtered water and weighing the residue. Okay, so the total solid in a water sample can be directly determined by evaporating the water and weighing the residue. By weighing the residue, we can determine the inorganic solids and deduct it from the total solids. So we can calculate the organic solids, we can also calculate it. Okay, so next we will be discussing about that is hardness. In hardness, it is a property of the water which prevents the lathering of the soap. Lathering means that is foam of the soap. Okay. It is mainly caused due to presence of carbonates and sulfates of calcium and magnesium in the water, and the presence of chlorides and the nitrates of calcium and magnesium also cause hardness in water. And hardness is usually expressed in milligram per liter or ppm, that is I have told you parts per million of calcium carbonate in water. And the hardness limit for public supply ranges between 75 ppm to 150 ppm. Okay, so as we have taste, we all know the hardness test, how we should taste the hardness property of the water. So it is one type of a property which prevents the lathering of the soap. Lathering means, once again I can tell you, lathering means that is foam. It is mainly caused due to the presence of carbonates and sulfates of calcium and magnesium in the water, and the presence of chlorides and the nitrates of calcium and magnesium that causes the hardness in water. And next is hardness is usually expressed in milligram per liter or ppm of calcium carbonate in water. Okay, so in the previous we are determining the hardness test by using a soap test method. Okay, in which the standard soap solution was added in the water and it was vigorously shaked to see the formation of lather for 5 minutes. Okay, so in the previously we are using the hardness test. If we do the hardness test, so we determine by soap test method, so in which the standard soap solution was added into the water and it was vigorously shaked to see the formation of that soap or that foam for 5 minutes. Okay, after that the hardness of the water has been calculated, and the hardness limit for the public is supply ranges from 75 ppm to 150 ppm. Okay, so next we will be discussing about that is chlorides. First is in the chlorides, first the sodium chloride is the main substance in chloride water. The natural water near the mines and sea have dissolved sodium chloride. The presence of chlorides may be due to the mixing of saline water and sewage in the water, and the excess of chlorides is dangerous and unfit for the use. As we all know, sodium chloride is the main substances in the chloride water, and it is mainly found near the mines and the sea. Okay, and the presence of chloride is mainly due to the mixing of saline water and sewage in the water, and if it is excess, the chloride is excess, then it is very dangerous for us and it is unfit for us. Okay, so we cannot use the water if the chlorides is present in it. Okay, and also the chlorides can be determined by titrating the water with silver nitrate and potassium chromate. Okay, in this titration process, the reddish color will be formed if the chlorides are present. If the chlorides are present while doing the titration process, we will get the reddish color in water. Okay, so next is chlorine. In the chlorine, the dissolved free chlorine is never found in natural waters, and it is present in treated water resulting from disinfection with chlorine. So we can say that in the dissolved free chlorine is never found in the natural water, is never found. It is present in the treated water resulting from disinfection with chlorine, and the chlorine remains as residual in treated water for the sake of safety against pathogenic bacteria. Okay, and the residual chlorine is determined by the Scratch test or the ortholorine test. Okay, we will do the Scratch test or ortholorine test. And this, if the chlorine is present, the yellow color is formed in the water, and the residual chlorine should remain between 0.5 ppm to 0.2 ppm in the water. So the water remains safe against the pathogenic bacteria or any type of bacteria. Okay, so next is iron and manganese. So in the iron and manganese, these are generally found in the groundwater. We can get easily the iron and manganese. If they are present less than 0.33 ppm, then it is objectionable. But if it exceeds the 0.33 ppm, that is parts per million, the water is not suitable for domestic bleaching, dyeing and laundering purposes. Okay. The presence of iron and manganese in water makes brownish red color, and the iron and manganese also cause taste and odor in water. Okay, so if mainly this iron and manganese is found in the groundwater, as I have written there, and if the iron and manganese are less than 0.3 ppm, then it is objectionable. It is okay, but if exceeds 0.3 ppm, then the water is not suitable for domestic purposes, bleaching purposes, dyeing and laundering purposes. This water is not been good. And the presence of iron and manganese in water, it makes the brownish red color in it, because it leads to the growth of microorganisms or bacteria and corrodes the water pipes. Okay, iron and manganese also cause taste and odor in water, and also the quantity of iron and manganese is mainly determined by the colorimetric methods. Okay, so in the colorimetric method, some coloring agents has been added. So we can say that some coloring has been added in the water and colors are formed, which can compose or which can be compared with the standard color solutions. Okay, so it causes taste and odor in the water. So next is pH value, that is pH value of the chemical test. Depending upon the nature of dissolved salts and minerals, the water found in natural sources may be acidic or alkaline. Okay, so depending upon the nature of the dissolved salts or minerals, the water found in any sources, it may be acidic or alkaline. The acidity or alkalinity is measured in ppm, that is parts per million. And if the acids or alkalis are dissolved in water, they dissociate the electrically charged ions. Okay, so in the pH value, it mainly determines the nature of the dissolved salts and minerals, and the water found in the natural sources are acidic or alkaline. Okay, and this acidity or alkalinity is measured in ppm. So next, that is biological test, we will be reading in the next slide. Thank you.